Greetings, travelers. We're finishing up our little trip here. We come all the way down here to Louisiana. We're in the Pelican State, and we're in the Crescent City. New Orleans. New Orleans. That's right. Pelican State, New Orleans, the Crescent City. That's where we ended up. We started out in Hammond. We skirted around Memphis, up along the Mississippi, crossed the Cairo, into high dollar gasoline, Illinois, Peoria, Davenport, cruised, kicked up from 80 to Waterloo, crossed into Sioux City, Iowa, hung out there a few days, did a little trip up to Vermilion, South Dakota, and back down we come. We skipped around Omaha, we skipped around Kansas City, and we come down here and we did a little trip into Branson. And we investigated Branson. It's a tourist place like Panama City or Gatlinburg, very similar. Scooted across Missouri. This is all beef land. This is mostly pasture corn and beans and then beef down in here. We come back over to Cairo and we did a little jaunt over into Paducah, and then we come up a little bit. We went over here on the east side of southern Illinois to a town called Shawneetown. Now there's Shawneetown and then there's Old Shawneetown, and they're on the edge of the Ohio River there. Had a good time, saw some of my old friends, had a wonderful time. We went house hunting there over in Carbondale, and no luck there. But then after that, back down to Paducah, and we skirted on down and made our way over to Columbia, Tennessee, where we hung out, maybe 3 days or something, just snacking and napping. And then from there, we come back into Mississippi, and I didn't make any stops. I've been to Muscle Shoals, I've been to Columbus, and Laurel. Very pretty towns, Columbus and Laurel, if you get there. And the nice pine belt of Mississippi, we come back down here. Lots of pine trees, some cattle, not much corn or beans. That's all up in here. But we're back in the heat, 85 degrees today, high humidity, just like we left it. I know up in here they're getting in the 50s and stuff at night. And we got snow in Colorado. So we're September 21st here, 2021, and we had a great trip. Kind of a scouting mission. We didn't go somewhere and camp for 2 weeks and then go somewhere and camp for 2 weeks. We were pretty much on the move the whole way. We only got the knock twice. That's where we're told to leave. We can't spend the night. And that first one was in Branson, in a huge parking lot, empty parking lot, right before dark. Security guard in a golf cart told me, go up to the Walmart, which we did, no problem. And we also got the knock in land between the lakes. That's a Kentucky lake here, the Tennessee River, all in here. There's a beautiful state park there. Hung out for a while, didn't realize it was a state park, just thought it was a boat ramp. But Ranger Rick came over and told me you can't camp there tonight. So we skedaddled over to Paris. We went to Paris, Tennessee, hung out there for a while. Went to Camden, Tennessee, saw a great race, wonderful people, warm-hearted fella I met up there, really nice, family-oriented place, and spent the night in the parking lot, no problem. They said, come on in. The race was $5. Hot dog and a soda was $4. So spent a whole $9 there for an afternoon of relaxing and then a night of racing, and I spent the night and moved on out. We went down here to Adamsville, Tennessee. I don't know if you've been to Adamsville, Tennessee. That's the home of Buford Pusser. And you can look him up. He was the sheriff in that county, Murray County, I believe. And he didn't like moonshiners. Oh, no, no, no. He busted up a lot of stills. They ambushed him one time, shot his jaw off, and they had to sew it back on. Killed his wife. And later on, he liked fast cars. He had a Corvette Stingray with the 440, big block in there. And he was riding down some country road and flipped the darn thing, and he got ejected. His 6'5", 240-pound guy had the T-tops off and had his head sticking out like he would. And so he died in that crash. The car caught fire. He was out of the car, but that car is in the garage of his museum there in Adamsville, Tennessee. Very nice, $10 to go see the museum, walk through the house. The house is exactly the way he left it. 1972 it was built, and the decor is the same as 1972. I don't think you'll find a more accurate house depicting 1972 than his. They left it the same way. Carpet, the furniture, the dark wood paneling. You see a house like that in remodeling these days, and they go in, they gut it, and they, paint it, get it all fancy. But this was, it was unique because I do remodeling, that a perfectly intact rancher, 1972-73 style. But got a T-shirt. The most popular gift is a big stick. Of course, he's walking tall. He had a big stick. That first stick he ever used was a fence post. He pulled out of the ground and went over and busted up some stills. And a friend of his went and got a regular stick and carved it and made it nice for him, so he didn't have to have an old fence post anymore. He just had this nice, smooth, big stick. And that's a walking tall Buford Pusser. That was a good museum. We left there, we come down here, back into Mississippi through the Pine Belt, and we completed it. I think the trip was 32 days and 4,300 miles. Only rotated the tires once up here. I just rotated to get rid of that vibration and replaced the battery in Council Bluffs. So the G20, 1995 G20 just ran great. Just poured that gas in there and just on we went. We didn't have a hitch except for the tire vibration. It's up about 65, 70 miles an hour. You get a little vibration. But this thing is no sports car, so that's to be expected. And we'll tighten those things up for our next adventure. Next week is Cruising the Coast down here in Biloxi. You got to come. It's a whole week of car shows up and down the coast. Just bring a lawn chair. You're going to see everything from rat rods, custom cars, homemade cars, classics, 1940 Buick convertible. Oh, they got it all. They got it all up here. 60 miles of the Mississippi coastline for that whole week is nothing but cars. You'll see them at the convenience store, at the shopping mall. They'll gather at different parking lots. One day it'll be full of Corvettes, and the next day it'll be full of Chevy Impalas or something. I know in Long Beach on Thursday of that week, first full week of October every year, Long Beach parking lot at the harbor is Mopar. It's Mopar all day. They come in about 8 in the morning, and all your Dodges and your Coronets and everything hanging out there at the Long Beach harbor. Go check it out. Motels are pretty packed right now, but if you're a van dweller like I am, there's plenty of spots to park. There's, I think, 3 truck stops, 2 Walmarts. There's other places to park. Beauvoir, you can camp there, $10 a night. It's right on the beach road. And they're kind of relaxed about parking overnight during that week. They want everybody to have a good time, so they're not kicking people out and towing people. So pretty good time there. And back over here to Picayune for the Fall Street Festival. That'll be November 6th or something like that. And reenactment back at Beauvoir, 2-day battle going on there. They'll have sutlers, and they'll have an audience of people, spectators, and you can walk the grounds and see the museum. It's a good 2-day. I usually work the cannon. The Washington Artillery lets me work the cannon crew. I work on that. And it's a good time. We camp at the old-timey campground, a canvas tents, 1860 style, and some good fellowship going on there. We'll have that out. Next major trip is probably January 10th, January 6th. And we've always headed down here to Florida in the wintertime. Well, we might change it up this year and head west. I got friends in Phoenix and friends in Tucson. So maybe the month of January out there in the desert to warm up a little bit. It doesn't get real cold down here, no ice or snow, but still high of 50, low of 30, low of 35. It's kind of chilly. And I like to take a month off of my winter, take a month off of my summer, and go follow the weather. So that's what we're up to. We all appreciate you all coming by. Comments, criticisms, comments, or send your love. Send your love to hayseedhandyman@gmail.com. And we'll see you on the next video. We had a good time, and thanks for coming along. We'll see you soon.